So he just found this grass snake, first grass snake of the year, and it's actually the first time I've seen them doing this. He's doing the death display. So they do this to show that they're dead. They also musk on you to make themselves stink, to, you know, make predators think they're dead, so they won't touch them. But I can assure you, he's alive. There we go. So I'm back at you with another YouTube video. This time we're going to go looking for the barred grass snake, Natrix helvetica, here on the farm. And if you can hear that in the background, I've actually just flipped one already. I should have flip clipped it, but so here we have this beautiful barred grass snake, Natrix helvetica. I guess a female. It's a good 2 foot long, so a decent one. This is not one I've seen before on the farm, so that's good. And you know, we're late into May now. I've just come back from being away the weekend. Found the first grass snake yesterday. And the weather's crap today, but I thought I'd come down because there's not much sun, so to see if they're under the tins. And we've been greeted with this absolute beauty straight off. So Natrix helvetica, yeah, probable female, I'd say. Beautiful condition. Now, I was saying in the wildlife walk videos before, I'm not sure where the high binocular is. I said this is a possible area just because of the height of the ground, and she's pretty mad here, so we won't keep her too long. We'll go look at the other tins. Grass snakes are pretty reluctant to bite though. They'll hiss at you, they'll musk on you like she's done, and they'll give you a head whack, but they really won't bite you, so nothing to worry about there. Obviously a harmless species anyway, but yeah, absolute beauty. I'll get a couple of photos on the phone and we'll let her go. All right guys, so just taking a couple of pics and she'll go back under her tin now. See you later, girl. Beauty. Yeah, so the vegetation is so long. It's going to be really difficult to walk around now. Stinging nettles, absolute nightmare of a plant, and brambles, absolute nightmare of a plant. But we'll head to the next tins and see. All right guys, we'll go around the next tins and then yeah, I'll take you around with me. I'll be fairly quiet unless we find something, just to not spook anything off. But this is habitat. It's growing up loads now, so very deep vegetation, brambles, stinging nettles everywhere. It's an absolute pain in the arse to walk in summer, but let's see what we can find, if we can find anything. No, nothing under this tin. Let's go to the next. So yeah, really dense vegetation here. So like I've said in previous videos on the wildlife walks, it's really difficult for me to spot grass snakes basking down here, so that's why we use the tins. Get a good amount throughout the year. Hopefully this year we'll have some more. I've got extra tins down at different places on the farm, but yeah, really difficult to spot in the vegetation. Don't think I've ever spotted one. So obviously we use the tins to try and find them. Got a couple more to check. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have another one. Nothing there either, so I'll probably carry on this video when we find another grass snake, and yeah, we'll have a chat more about a few more facts about them. So okay, so we're back again. This is a much younger snake. It's actually doing the death display right now, which is very cool. It's probably a couple-of-year-old juvenile. this snake has not shed yet after coming out of hibernation. So very recently come out of hibernation. I'm just trying to get it to show you its death display, which is very cool. So they do this and musk all over you. They make them smell dead. They appear dead so that predators, you know, won't harm them. They'll leave them be. They're not going to eat something that's rotten, so far rotten that it stinks and it's dead. So that's why they do this. He's absolutely fine. So I've just flipped under this wooden board at a new spot on the farm. It's next to another one of the ponds, so obviously ideal spot for grass snakes. Now they are mainly amphibian predators, so they'll feed on, you know, newts, toads, frogs, toads. So the common toad, bufo we have in the UK, is poisonous. There's a few things that'll eat them. So grass snakes will eat them. It's one of their main prey sources. The poison doesn't affect them. Like grey herons will eat them. They don't seem to be affected by it. I think some corvids will eat them, and otters will actually strip toad's skin to eat them. So even though they're poisonous, they have a few predators, grass snakes being one. So you can see, stop doing the death display now. Sitting fairly still, but yeah, slow tongue flicks. He's just checking out the area, so hopefully he realizes that I'm not a threat anymore and is just sort of sitting there for us. So I don't often, so this is the first time I flipped under a wooden board and found one. The weather today is pretty poor. It's one of the reasons I came to look today. I was away the weekend, but we've had some really nice sunshine, finally about a week of sunshine without any storm breaks or rain breaks. But today is a bit cooler, so I'm out checking the boards. Obviously they're going to try and retain that heat under the boards, and that's why it's a bit better to look on a early morning on a sunny day, or generally a cloud cover day is the best. Warm weather still, so the tins and boards warm up, but in the bright sunshine they'll be out early on the bask, you know, in vegetation, and that's it. They're off for the day then. They'll be off, they'll be hunting. So on the cooler days they'll be under the boards trying to retain some of that heat. So habitat again is very dense here. It's really difficult to tell, but these cow parsleys with the white tops, they will reach 9 foot here quite easily. They're already at 5 foot high now, so it's really difficult to walk through. But yeah, this is barred grass snake, Natrix helvetica. Probably a 2, possibly even 3-year-old juvenile at this point. Fairly good condition. You can see the mud on the skin. So obviously he's due to shed skin after coming out of hibernation, but that shows that he's, you know, been in hibernation still with the mud on the skin. So just coming out to warm up now we've had this good weather. Had a terrible winter here in Pembrokeshire and Wales. It's one of the wettest winters I can remember. So late coming out. This is, you know, what we now 22nd of May today, so hopefully these guys will be under the tins for another month or so, and then in the hot summer they'll disappear, and then they'll be back again in the autumn, then August, well, September, October I guess, and hopefully we'll see some more. But wonderful, such lovely snakes. And this is the species that got me into reptiles originally, finding these as a kid. So yeah, there we go. We've just stuck him down again. He was doing the death display, and he'll probably realise that we're not going to bother him in a second, and he will shoot off. There we are. He's just kind of still doing it, but yep, cool little guy. Right, we'll see you later, bud. Hopefully see you again when you're a bit bigger. So just back again under another tin, which we checked earlier on today, back in a bit later in the afternoon. Yeah, another young grass snake. This is possibly the same one. I think it might be actually the same one that we saw yesterday evening under a different tin. So it seems to be the same pattern. It's quite a dark one, this one, with a lovely yellow neck, although I'd still say it needs to shed from coming out of hibernation. So But yeah, lovely individual again, you know, nice condition really. Probably a 2-year-old animal, maybe 3-year-old again, like the one we've just seen over the other side of the farm. Yeah, I absolutely love grass snakes. I really do. They're such cool animals, and it's great to get out and, you know, see our native animals. It's quite hard to beat the Viperobarus, which obviously I've had a couple of videos of now, finding them for the first time this year. But grass snakes will always be special to me. As I said earlier, it's what got me into reptiles, finding them as a kid. So yeah, beautiful little animals. And obviously, I'll just talk about the habitat a little bit. So I've spoken about it before, and obviously I've said earlier they're amphibian feeders, so obviously you're going to find them in, well, they thrive really in fairly wet, marshy areas, but you'll find them all over. They're grassy areas, grasslands, woodlands, marshy areas. Now I'll show you a bit of the habitat again. This is our marsh area on the farm. It's about 7 acres total. It runs, this bit's about 3 acres, and as you can see now, it's so dense, like you just really struggle to get through it. But it runs then down the farm along the river into the other portion of the farm where we just found that other grass snake. So they like it. They'll thrive in wet conditions. You'll see them, I've never seen it, but you see videos from people of them hunting in their garden ponds. Obviously they're on the hunt for frogs, newts, things like that. So they, quite a few habitats really, but generally I found that they're always near a body of water, or whether that's a lake or even ditches on the farms, or wherever there's going to be amphibians breeding, basically, is what I'd say. And that's where you find them. Well, that's where I find them anyway. So yeah, we'll let this one go, and then we'll check a couple more tins again. That'll probably be. Okay, here we go. Another young grass snake, Nitrix helvetica. And I'll actually, let's get him. All right, bud. So let's just get him to calm down a little bit. There we go. So he's in shed here, slightly blue eyes, and we'll just talk a little bit about just a few bits of info about him. So grass snake, Nitrix helvetica, one of 3 native species in the UK. I'm in Wales. We only have 2 natives in Wales, so we have the grass snake and the adder Viperobarus, and then in a few small populations in England they have a 3rd species, the smooth snake. Can't remember the scientific name on that one. So grass snakes are the largest of the species. This is obviously only a juvenile, probably around 2 years old. Calm down, bud, you're alright. I'm not going to hurt you. This one's a bit more lively than the other ones we've seen so far. So yeah, the largest species, females will get 1 metre long. They can even get up to 1.5 metres, although it's obviously going to be quite an old individual. Males a bit smaller. I can't remember exactly, so I won't say, but yeah, a bit smaller than the females. They sometimes have a slight difference in appearance, but it is very slight, so it's not so easy to tell whether it's a male or female unless you find a real big one. So the appearance, this one's in shed, so it's quite a dark individual. They are generally darker individuals when they're young and juveniles, but the easiest way to tell a grass snake over any of the species is that lovely yellow, creamy, white band behind the head. Now, the adults will be a bit lighter in colour, and you don't know if you can see, but there's you know, slight barring on the side. So slight barring on the side. Underneath is checkered, white and black, and generally you'd really struggle to not know the difference between our species. Obviously the adders, they zigzag pattern on the back. The only time you might get confused is melanistic adders. Obviously they don't show as much patterning, so, and them being a bit darker, some people might mistake them for a grass snake, but generally they're quite easily distinguishable between the species. Diet, they're amphibian feeders, specialists. They will take fish as well, so that's why you'll find them in people's garden ponds fishing. But yeah, amphibians, newts, frogs, toads. I don't know if the young ones, the really young ones, I'm not sure if they'll prey on insects or not, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, I've got this lovely young juvenile grass snake. That's a bit of info about them. So he's a bit erratic, so I did bring the camera, but I'll probably just let this little guy go. So we'll send him on his way. So this is the female, or I'd say female, first snake in the video. I've just come back to check it again, and she's back here again, so you'll see that minimal amount of handling. It's not really going to bother snakes too much. Obviously around breeding time, don't really want to do it too much, but she's back basking, trying to find that little bit of heat under the tin. And I'm not going to touch her this time. So just thought I'd show you again. There she is under a tin. Oh, she's going to go there. There we go. But there we go, guys. So few grass snakes for you in this video. A little bit about them, not too much, but hopefully you enjoyed watching a few grass snakes.